Hi, I'm Zach Moore, the designer of Zer0 Inbox, a corporate parody party board game, and I wanted to share some details about the design process for this project. The concept spawned from a game design course I took in 2015 while working my day job as a games producer for a large corporation. I was tasked with creating a paper prototype based on my everyday life. Given how much my job revolved around organizing email to run projects, I turned to email as inspiration. Personally, I strive to maintain a Zer0 inbox every day. I thought of what a sweet victory it is to have an empty inbox and decided a board game where that was the main objective was a unique concept for this space. I knew I wanted to make something that was relatable to a wide range of people who deal with the stress and pressure of modern office life. I especially loved the idea of taking what should be a mundane, if not repulsive task and turning it into a fun experience for people to enjoy together. After completing the course, I had some coworkers play the very rough version made of a pizza box and index cards to get their thoughts on the concept. They loved the theme, but they all had one common suggestion: provide more ways of screwing over other players. We combined forces with a graphic designer and took our show on the road, hitting conferences to increase awareness of the game, build community, and gather more feedback. Gathering this playtesting data on a wider scale was invaluable and led to many rule changes and the addition of several new cards as consumers wanted more actions to take. A core design conceit of the game has been to ensure that everything is designed with the metaphor of email in mind. When creating new action cards, they had to fit in thematically in both name and function in a way that mimics the spirit of taking that same action in an office setting. Take, for example, the forward action card. At some point in everyone's job, they've been sent an email by a boss or coworker that suddenly becomes their burden. When players get this card, our design and metaphor allows them to easily process that they can now send one of their email cards to an opponent. It also gives them a power they rarely get in their job: to ruthlessly forward work to someone else with essentially zero social consequences. However, it's more than just the mechanics and actions that leave the player feeling immersed in this office-themed parody. The visual design for the game has been created to resemble user interface elements seen in email programs, while the copy printed on the email cards was written using office vernacular, dripping with satire, and pulling inspiration from actual workplace events. This serves multiple purposes of keeping players immersed in the theme by giving them familiar terms and actions to reinforce the rules they play by, and allowing them to not feel triggered by their corporate servitude due to repeating tasks of the day. My hope is that when players start a game, they'll be able to step into a very different workplace from which they're accustomed, and that ideally they'll experience it alongside some coworkers and friends embracing a cathartic experience together. Giving people an outlet to discuss office stress points and role-play some simplified form of office interactions can be a healthy way to deal with frustrations and bond together people who all rely on each other to get work done. Or at the very least, get some sweet revenge for those terrible meetings that absolutely could have just been emails.